Hello everybody, this is Andrew. This is HTML and CSS Crash Course 2024. In this video we are going to learn HTML and CSS, the fundamental of web developments. This video is for those who want to become a web developers. I will walk you through step-by-step explanations. If you don't understand, just leave your comments below. I will answer all your questions when I have time. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, sorry, before we get started with our lessons, we need to download and install some applications. Okay, let's surf the Google first. Here we go. You just need to type the VS Code download. Okay, this is the best editor for the time being. Most of the web developers are using it, so you just need to download for free. You don't need to pay anything. So let's wait for a moment. It depends on internet speeds. It's gonna take some time, and since I'm using Windows, so click on the Window options. If you are using Macs, so you just go for a Mac. Okay, so you just press on the download button and then wait for a few seconds. Like I said, it depends on the internet connection. We need to wait for a while. I think this browser is a bit slow. I just need to switch to the better browser, and then let's type the Google, and here we go. VS Code download. Okay, and then let's wait for a few moments. Okay, let's click on the window options, and sorry for my internet connections. I think something is wrong with my connection. Let's click again. Okay. Okay, here we go. Download processing is here, is getting started, and then after a few seconds we are ready to install this VS Code application. Okay, let's wait for a second. Okay, if you are done with your download process, just go to the download folder and look for a VS Code setup exe file. Here I just right click on the application and run as administrator. That's how you install your applications to your PC, and then you just need to follow the instructions step by step. If you do not know what to do, you just press OK and next. You're gonna be fine. Okay, so let's try again. Continue. Because my PC has already have it installed, so you just need to run this application, run as administrator. Like I said, you just need to follow the instructions prompted by the setup. You just accept, next, next, next. You just desktop and next. After completing all the instruction sets, you're gonna be okay. So because in this PC I have already installed it, so I just close it and go to the my desktop. Okay, sorry, let's close this. Okay, if you press on your desktop, you will see your VS Code icon. You just double click and open the applications. This is how you install your VS Code applications. Next, we are going to create a HTML folder, and we are going through many examples, and I will show you how to create a first application. Okay. Okay, we are going to create our first applications. So without further ado, let's get started. Okay, I'm going to create a new folder called HTML, and then just open up your VS Code Studio. Okay, just click, and then okay, this is your very new application, and then you just drag and drop on your HTML folder into your application. Now you are good to go with your. Okay, let's create our first. It's very simple applications. We're gonna be using anchor tag. Let's say this is the home.html. Make sure you have a .html there. That is very important. And then, oh sorry, I just make a mistakes. You just need to press on the file options. Okay, and then here home.html. You here how you create the template, your exclamation marks or HTML. This is the command how you create the bare bones for your web pages. It's very easy. And then here exclamation mark. That's how you create the first application templates. Here all your contents, all the information to be displayed on the web browser should be within body tag. That's very important. And then home page. After that, I'm going to create a page 1.html, and then page 2. So any name you want, you just create, because I just want to show you the simple applications, how they are being connected to each other. We just navigate through page by page. Okay, this exercise simulates a very simple applications. Here page 3.html. Okay, let's create another page 1, h1. This is what we call just page 1. Okay, and then hr means a horizontal rule, and then p paragraph tag, and then the okay, you have to take note of many shortcut keys here. Here we just use lorem. Lorem means this is abbreviations for generating. It's a emmet abbreviations to generate a dummy text. So lorem, or if you want to have 100 200 words of dummy text, you just type 200. Let's say I just want it 100. That means you generate 100 words of dummy text, dummy words. It's automatic generated words. So it's gonna be very easy. The reason why people are using this VS Code is, to just make the programmer life much more easier compared to other, editing tools such as Sublime Text or Notepad++. So that's why this VS Code is very popular among the web developers. So let's test again. Okay, let's generate another 500 words or 300 words. Let's say lorem, okay, 200 words. That means you're gonna have a longer paragraph. So if this is your first time, you have to install here extensions live server. Okay, live server. So there's a tons of plugins, extensions. So live server, click on it because I have already installed the live server application plugin here. So I don't need to install it again. And then if you want it, you just have to press here the install. You see, so if you don't want it, you just uninstall it. It's very easy. And installation complete, that means you cannot run your page right from here. So let's try again, install. So that means you can run your boilerplate. This is the template or the skeleton, HTML skeletons. You just click a right click on your code and open with live server. You're going to be provided with the server with the new port, server port here 5500. This is your first HTML page. Okay, so let's create more pages. Here I'll just copy it to, okay, let's make it 2. Let's name it 2 and then 3. These are pages separate, it's individual pages separated from each other. We just need to link them and traverse across the pages. So we need to put the navigational options, navigational buttons or links. That's what we call the anchor tag. Okay, so here href, and then let's say page1.html, and then make it first the home. Okay, let's say home page options, and then let's copy it, and page 1 it's gonna be page 2 and page 3. This is a navigation bar or navigation links, and page 1 like so. Here page 1, if the user click on the page 1, he or she gonna be taken into this page. Okay, page 3. Okay, let's try it out, and then okay, I just copied this code. Let's try it. HR means horizontal rule. It's a line. You're drawing a line. That means you have to use this tag. In HTML, we call it the tag and attributes. Okay, I'll explain this later. And again, let's copy this first, the navigation code, and then here let's put it in here, insert our code here, and then let's paste it here. Okay, let's save it, and then here this is the home page. Okay, I just make it a home page or welcome page. Okay, home page. Okay, and then paste it, the navigation options, and the P lorem, let's say 300. So that means we are generating 300 words. Let's try it out. Right click and click on the open with live server. So this is our first application. It functions like a small applications home page, page 1, page 2. So I forgot to, put here the this is serving as a boundary. You just put this character between the links, so that make it more beautiful and distinct. Okay, let's try it out. Refresh. Oh, this is a home page. Maybe I forgot. Oh, forgot to save. If you this small cycle, white cycle, that means you haven't saved it yet. Make sure you save your source code. Whenever you update or make changes on your source code, you have to save it, update it, and then try to take a look at our outputs. And here, page 1, this is page 1, page 2, page 3. You see, this is serving as a small application. We are building, we are building a small application, or this is just a simulations of small encyclopedia or small books, a small directory. You can already, create simple applications. You see, page 2, page 1. That's it, everybody. This is the end of the making a first application. And okay, let's go on to another chapter, another topics. We are going to create image pages and the video pages and this music pages. That means in HTML we have slightly different from what we used to have in HTML4. In HTML5 you're gonna be having a bit updated versions of code. Before we used to have embedded tag. Now we use the video and audio tags, something like that. So let's try it. Okay, like I said, we are going to have exercises on images, video, and audio. I just grouped these pages into a folder called app, small app, simple app. Okay, let's say app 1, or this is navigation. Okay, and then put them into this folder. Okay, move it, and then let's create another folder called images. Okay, images, images. Okay, you still need to have img folder. Make sure you have a folder inside an image folder, index.html. Okay, we are going to find a couple of photos and save them inside the img folder. Let's have some images here. Just copy these 3 pictures or 6 pictures, copy, and then let's go to our folder and images here. Okay, I just renamed these pictures 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, and 6. Okay, it's gonna be okay. We are having these 6 pictures, and then we are going to display inside our HTML code. So I just call it my photo collections. Okay, and then HR, and then the img is the image text to display a photos or images. So src means source. Source means img folder inside pick one. As of now, you just need to use the width attributes, and the value would be 200 pixel, and the height should be 200 pixels. So alt means alternatives. So alt mentions what kind of to describe the type of images, or the to describe the image. Let's say this is a childhood image or building or something like that. You have to mention here the photo descriptions. Okay, so that means this is the coffee. Okay, this is a coffee photo. So let's have a break. BR mean a break or a new line. So in HTML, in some cases you just opening tag and closing tag, but some text, you know, doesn't have a closing tag, or you just put it this way. So it's okay without or with it. It's okay. It's optional. It's optional. If you put it, you know, self and closing tag, that's okay. If you don't want it, that's okay. No problem. But if you are using the HTML in other advanced programming languages like Java, you just have to have the closing, you know, this symbol, the /. So, but in this case, it is optional. If you don't want to put this closing tag, that's okay. And then let's copy it a couple of times, and then this is a captions. This is a coffee or latte, anything you want it, anything you want. So here, latte, coffee latte, or Americano, that would be fine. Here, let's copy one more time, and then the coffee Americano, and then let's say it would be cappuccino. Okay, so this name should be correct. This is a directory or the locations of your photo. Make sure you have, you know, this is the folder name. It matches the locations of the path of your photo. That's very important. If you make a mistakes, or you know, you just put the incorrect part of your photos, it won't show up. You know, it won't be displayed. You're gonna have a problem. Here, let's open up. You see, coffee photo. For some reasons, internet connections error, or for some reason, unknown reasons, you cannot display that kind of photo, or if your browser doesn't support the type of your photo, you know, the alt alternative text gonna be showing up. Okay, that's why it's important to mention alt. But in our case, if you don't want to write this code, it's okay for the time being. But when you know, when you are at the advanced level, you just need this alt. Otherwise, you will have a complaint. Okay. Here, let's make it correct. img. That means, so it is okay now. Okay, let's have another example regarding the song or audio. Let's say audio.html, and then I will create another, you know, folder. Let's find some audio files and put them in this audio folder. let's find some audios. Okay, and then let's have some audios, and then the musics. Okay, we have some audios in here. Okay, and then navigation. Oh my god, because I make a mistake, because audio folder should be out of the images folder. Let's create a new folder again, and then audio. Okay, inside the audio we have to have the let's say song folder. Inside the song folder, just paste the songs. I just copy it. Okay, 2 1 2. That means let's create I just move this to audio folder. Rename this again, index. Okay, let's have the boilerplate or a skeleton, and then create h1. So my song collections. Okay, my song collections, and then we are going to write a code for the audio before HTML. In HTML4 we just use embed tag. Now we no longer use this kind of embed tags. Instead we used here audio. Okay, audio, and then audio, audio. That means you can put here your song, and then here, and then we have to mention here controls. Okay, so if you forget to put these control attributes, you will not be having the audio controls items on your interface. Okay, that means I just put here, and then the type. What are the type? Audio / and MP3. It's important to mention the type of the audio you are embedding or you insert in your application. Okay, and then let's try this out. You see, it's working now. Okay, good. So that means it's optional if you want to put audio or video. Let's say my song 1, or I do not know exactly what song it is. Maybe it might be a Burmese or Korean songs. Let's have another song again. Okay, and 2. It's gonna be 2 audio type controls, and then here. And you see, this is another song. Okay, this is a Burmese song. Okay, that's it. And then, okay, we have to move on to the video example. Just create a video folder, and then create another folder again, video, or I do not know, it's a song again, right? And then inside the video we just have to create HTML, and then boiler. It's a template or the skeleton boilerplate. So just sorry. So as soon as you have this template, you just my video collections or song collections. Okay, my video collections, my video clips, any name you want, you have to write it down, and then here, and video. Okay, and then here your song. So let's get some video clips from the download. and the blue pink fashion. I do not know this. I do not know whether this is a song or video. Okay, this is MP4. Oh no, this is a PNG file. So make sure you MP4. Yeah, these are the MP4 file, and then it is a video clip JS1. Okay, so let's go to our folder and then paste it here, and then I just rename this as 1. Okay, file name is 1, and the folder after that, this is it, and control, and then you have to mention here the type of video. This is the video / MP4. So this is very important, but some articles, some developers, they might code a different way, but SOURC is source, and then SRC, the result would be just the same. Okay, this is another way of coding for a video. Okay, and then song 1, and then the type, and then type, sorry, and then this is a video / MP4. So this is another SOURCE source. Okay, but here you can put your attribute control here, and then this is another way of, the previous exercise we just, you see. So either way you can write the audio and videos. You can write the code for the audio and video. So here I just make it more simple and easy to remember. Here, source src song /1.mp4. Okay, it's very easy for you to memorize. So I think it should be working. Here, let's say caption. This is my video 1. Okay, let's try this out, and then there you go. Actually, this is my advertisements. I just make it a video MP4, but we are supposed to have a song, right? Let's find a real song. So we are supposed to play a song in MP4 format. Okay, so I just got a new video and then paste it in here, and then just erase the previous one and rename this 1. So this is a new video because previous video is just one pictures and no musics, right? So just try it again. Okay, something is wrong with the video format, I guess. Let's say this is a AVI, not MP4, AVI, or let's mention it here, AVI type of video, and then is it working? It's not supported. Oh, sorry. It's not supported. Oh, it's AVI MP4 because it's not a type of video clips this browser is supporting. It's not supported, so sorry for that. Okay, now I got another video. So let's paste it in here. I just remove this. This is Burmese songs sung by Myoji. This guy is the popular one. And then let's song. The file name is song1.mp4. It should be working now. Okay, this is it. Okay, let's try this out. Okay, there you go. So we just finish our audio testing, video embedding video, audios, and the images. So if you have questions, leave your comments below, and then we will continue to study. We are going to learn another table. It's very important for the foundation courses. As far as the HTML is concerned, you have to learn table, list, and the form at least. You know, because these topics are important. This will guide you through your web development journey, your learning journey. It's going to be very helpful for you, I think, because by this far we have just learned the basic things about how to navigate, how to use the anchor anchor tag, linking the pages, and then making a small applications, and then we just display the text messages and the images, audios, and the videos. That's the basic things we have learned so far. We are going to learn next the table. Okay, let's like I said, it's important to learn tables because most of the web pages are being being created using tables, rows, columns. And, when it comes to tabulations, we have to have tables. Unless we have a table, we cannot properly tabulate our tables and the data analysis or the other tables. That's a kind of data we need to have on our pages. Like you want to report on your financial calculations or your data listings. Very important. Okay, let's dive into detail. Okay, I just created a table folder, and here I just make it example 1. So we're gonna be having a row and columns inside a table as a simple table, right? Simple table. So we are creating a very simple or basic table. So that means that you should have a table tag in here. TR means table rows. How many rows you want, you just multiply it, and you just generate embed with using embed abbreviations, shortcuts. Here I just want to create the 4 rows, and each rows I want to have cell TD or TH. TD means table definitions, and TH means table heading, right? So there are a bit difference between the DT and the TH as far as the output is concerned. So if you want to have kind of bold and the center, that kind of text, you have to have the TH. That means table head. Okay. And nowadays, this is a very simple way to describe to create a table. But nowadays, you need to have a knowledge of HTML5 tag. Let's say before we did not have, we didn't have T-head or T-body and T-foot, things like that. We didn't have before. But in HTML5, you just have to, you know, we are using this text already. Okay, T body and T foot. So it's up to you. If you want to use it, it's okay, but for the time being, I don't want to use it. Just to provide you knowledge of these things are existing. That's for the general knowledge, for the general knowledge only, because we are just going to create a very simple table. Okay, here let's say TR. We're gonna be having 4 rows, and in each row we're gonna be having TD and 6 rows. Okay, and then here I'm going to copy and paste. We just copy this. Oops. Okay, I just copy this because it would be, you know, much easier if you copy it. But if you're a beginner, it's better to type, you know, for the sake of the familiarity with your codes. Okay, so that means we have to have here attributes with nowadays it is already deprecated. HTML5. In HTML4 we used to have this kind of code, but nowadays instead of using this width or height, we just put it here as style, and then width like that, width width, let's say 800 px, and height is equal to, oops, sorry, it should be separated with the semicolon, and h height, so let's say 400 px. Okay, and then we're gonna have a border of 2 px, and okay, it should be okay. Now let's try this out. Oh, there's no output. That means, okay, I just put here something, cell. Okay, copy. Okay, and then I just copy this because I want to show you the instance output, you know, so how this works. Okay, here as you can see here, we have already a dimension because we did not put any data inside a table. That's why we cannot see the table area. Now we have here a border 2px. It seems not to be working. Height 400, width and height is okay, but we have to mention here 200 solid, and then color should be black. Okay, this because I think we should not be using this width. This is a primitive way to, you know, to have a control inside our table. Here let's say 800 px, and then let's say this is a HTML4 height, let's say 400, and let's say border 1 px, and then cell spacing 5 px, and cell padding. Okay, cell padding should be at 10 px. Now let's see the result. There you go. So padding means the distance between the border and the contents. That's what we call a padding. But the distance between the two cells, that means we are, you know, having a control between the spaces between the two cells. That means you have to have a spacing, or later on we call it margin. Okay, so that's why if I increase the spacing, you know, cell spacing, that means this content's gonna move a bit to the center. Let's see, cell padding. So I just increase the value to 50, and then let's see. Like I said, it's moving, the content is moving to the center. That means the distance between the border and the content. And then let's try on the cell spacing. So I just increase the value of 5 to 50 and just make it 5 again to the cell padding. That means the distance between the cells, okay? As you can see, the distance between the cells becomes smaller, and the distance between the size of the distances between the cells are, increasing. That's what we call spacing. Later on in CSS, when we learn CSS, we're gonna be using this margin, because in those days in HTML4 we just call it cell spacing and cell padding. Cell spacing means margin, and cell padding means that's a padding today. Okay. If you get confused, just leave your comments below, and then I'll answer all questions. Okay. And then border, you just 5 or 10, any size you want. You just make it larger, make your border larger, and then I think it makes sense to you, I think. Okay, let's try another example. This time we are going to talk about the call span and row span, because most of my students would complain the HTML is very easy, but I usually give them this call span and row span exercises. Later on they found out it's not easy. It's not that easy, because you have to have a logics. You have to calculate some logics behind the scenes, okay, in order to produce the correct layout. Okay, in order to correct layout, or to construct the layout you want, you have to have basic logics. Okay, that means let's try this out, and then here I show you call span and row span, how we can make use of it. Okay, we can make use of row span and call span to create different types of web layouts. To control the table layouts, we have to understand these two, call span and row span. Okay, so that means let's create a table, and then let's say 4. Here I just cells, maybe add some more cells. Oops, sorry, I forgot to create TD, table definition, so my bad. Okay, TD, let's say 6. Okay, that's it. Cells, okay, this is my bad. Okay, we are just using a HTML4. Okay, width 800, or let's say 800 pixel, and the height is equal to 400 pixel, and then let's say border is equal to 2 pixel, and then let's say cell spacing equal to 10 pixel, and the cell padding equal to 5 pixel. Okay, let's try it. Let's see the outputs. Okay, it seems to be okay by far. Okay, I want to, merge, or I want to, merge these cells, the upper cells, into one. Okay, I want to join these cells into one cell. That means you have to expand this cell in, up to 6. Okay, so that means here I just put the attributes call spans 6. That means you have to remove this 5 TD cells. Okay, then let's see it. You see, so it's gonna merge all the cells into one, and then just combine the 6 cells into one. That's what we call a call span. When we say row spans, that means we have to span the rows. You have to take up all the cells across the row. That means here I just put here the row span. So that means you have to compensate here. You have to remove one cell because it's already occupied by these cells above. Okay, so you have to occupy the cells across the rows. That means you are expanding your rows across, horizontal, the vertically it's gonna be occupying all the cells. Okay, so I forgot to save it, and then now try. So now, as you can see, it's gonna take up all the 3 cells into one. And then let's say the last row, here I want to combine 3 cells, 3 rows into one cells. Okay, row span, we have to spanning the rows. That means you have to take out logically. Unless you take it out, you're gonna have a very shape. You're gonna have this kind of these structures. It's not a correct structures of your table. You are destroying your layout. That means you have to remove these two. Unless you remove it, you cannot have your desired output. Okay, so that means let's take this out, and 1. That's the compensations for the row spans. It's already taken. It's already expanding for the cells below. So I think it's looking good right now. Here cells, let's try one more time. Here I want to merge or combine these 2 cells. Okay, these cells and this, I just highlighted, and then here, okay, here I just put in here the attribute call span 2. That means you just remove the cells adjacent to it, adjacent cells, just remove it, and then oops, that's not the one. That's not the one, sorry for that. Okay, I just have to go down here a bit, and then here the call span 2. That means that's what we call a logical complex. In order to have your desired layout, you need to have these logics. Okay, so if you want to expand across the columns, that means you have to use the call span. If you want to expand across the rows, that means the row spans. Finally, you get this beautiful layout. Okay, if you get confused or you want to know more regarding this row span and call span, just leave your comments below. I'd be happy to answer all the questions. Okay, we are continue to talk about the list. Okay, list is very important as far as the HTML foundation course is concerned. You have to study the table. After knowing all about the table, you have to study lists. List is one of the features every student should have, you should study, because you're gonna be facing a lot of advanced features. You're gonna be including this, we have to take this into account. So many in advanced features, let's say drop down, CSS drop down, and the sliders and other advanced layouts. We usually use this list. If you have solid foundations on the list, how to make use of this, you're gonna be having a very, very good, you can create a very advanced features and the layouts. I'm sure, yes, I'm sure of it. That's why list, table, and the form, at least we have to have a solid foundations, solid knowledge regarding these three as far as the HTML is concerned. Okay, without further ado, let's dive into detail. So let's create a folder list, and then here example 1. Okay, I just call it example 1. Here it's just a boilerplate. Let's have a boilerplate, and then here this is the order list. Okay, order list. Order list means we're gonna be having 1, 2, 3 or alphabetical orders, numerical orders, and Roman numerals, something like that. So here OL, that means order list. By default, it depends on the browsers. So we're gonna be having sometimes 1, 2, 3. I think this order list should be, we should be having a 1, 2, 3. But the unordered list, it depends on the browsers. Sometimes you have a cycle, sometimes you have a this. This means a black cycle. Okay, so that means let's say item 1, item 2, or book, pencil, eraser, things like that. Book, pencil, and eraser, and paper clip. Okay, paper clip. Let's try this out and let's see the output. As you can see here, the book, pencil, eraser. Let's see. Okay, this is what we call the order list. Order list, and you can customize it but there are a few options. You can change if you don't want a 1, 2, 3, or you can just make it. That's what we call customization. You just customize it, and we want to use the alphabet, or you see alphabet. That means it's gonna be A, B, C, D, or lowercase a. That means here A, B, C, D, and then Roman numerals. Here I. So you're gonna be having Roman numerals, lowercase I, and then here that's okay. These are the ideas. You can make use of it for your applications, menu, navigations, and other listings. You can use this order list. And let's try another unordered list. Okay, unordered list means UL. So very simple and very easy to memorize. Here, unordered list. Unordered list. Unordered means UL. Okay, it's very easy. Here. So here, type I. Okay, not I. Sorry. So let's see the default value. Like I said, it depends. Oops, it depends. This is a black. This is the default value, but in some browsers you won't see it. It's a white circle. It's gonna be a circle or white circle. Only 3 options available right now. You can have a white circle, this, or a square. Okay, let's make it customized. The type, it should be a circle. That means we're gonna be having a white circles like this, and then square, SQUARE, square. That means we're going to be having a square, and lastly we can have DISC. Only 3 options available. Later on in advanced courses, we're going to be having awesome font and other materials icon, Google icons, something like that, flat icons. There's a bunch of icons available, but for the time being we can just have a few very limited icons, 3 types. Okay, if you don't mention here, you're gonna have a default value that is this. You have to have the implicit or explicit icons. That means you have to mention here the type and then square or circle. Okay, so these are the order list and unordered list. Maybe we can try a little bit more advanced example. Example 2. Let's say we're gonna have a restaurant menu. Let's say HR horizontal rule, and then okay, let's have UL first, and then 3. It's gonna be, let's say, pork menu, and then the chicken menu, and then the beef menu, right? Inside a pork menu, we are having here an order list, and then as a list of pork menu is a pork chop, and then pork tapa. So I do not know this is pork tapa available in your country. There are pork spicy. Okay, and then let's have another sub items. Chicken salad. Okay, chicken masala or chicken masala, and then chicken spicy or chicken soup or fried chicken. Okay, fried chicken. Okay, and lastly we should have a chicken spicy because I like spicy food. And then lastly, and then we're gonna be having here beef option. So beef or tenderloin. Okay, beef tenderloin. Okay, it's a lion food. Okay, and then beef stick, and lastly beef spicy. Okay, beef roasted. Any any curry or any name you want it, any menu you want it, you just write it down here. And then let's see the output. Now there you go, you have a pork menu, and then pork chop, pork tapa, pork spicy, and chicken masala, fried chicken spicy, and beef. As you can see, make sure you put this block of code, this group of code inside this li, opening li tag and closing li tag, because most of the students make a mistakes because they just put under the list like this. I think sometimes it's okay, but the correct way is here. You just put inside, you just enclose them, okay, like so. Here you put within the opening li tag and closing li tag. That's what we call a sub category or sub items of this menu. I think it should explain everything regarding the list. If you have questions or comments, just leave your comments below. I'd be happy to answer all your questions. Okay, let's continue with the HTML last topic, form. whenever people or your users uh, make a data entry to your applications, we need to provide the forms. Form using a form, we collect the data informations. We collect the data. It's very important uh, to to learn these forms, how to construct the forms, what are the limitations, and the pro and cons of the forms. That's why, okay, with that being said, we just continue. Okay, we just continue with our example. Now I'm going to close these things and then create a new folder called form. Oops, sorry. I just create a new folder, form. Okay, so let's create a login form first, and then the registration form and the order form, feedback form, the many types of data entry forms. Okay, you just collect the user information, feedback, so on and so forth. So here I just create a login HTML, and then here let's say I think it's better to create a form using your table. That means you can control the layout of your forms. In order to control the form layout, you have to have a table. Okay, so that means login form. Okay, let's say login form, and I have to create the table first, tr and then td 2, and then okay, email and the password, email, and then I just input text, colon text. That means here now we are not using these features because we just want to have the structure only. HTML concerns only the structures of the application. CSS is to make your application more beautiful and attractive. In that case, we have to use the CSS. And later on, interactivity, the programming features or the interactive activities of your application, we have to have the JavaScript. So that's why we just focus on the structure here. Let's have another password component. Here there are many types, input types, text, password. I show you how. Okay, I show you everything, password, and then number, okay, and then date, and then many more, checkbox and radio. Okay, we're going to learn bit by bit. Okay, so password. So we're going to be having a password to type in here, log in, and then for the time being, we just need to have 600 pixel, and height should be a 200 pixel. We should have a border. I think it's not needed right now. Okay, just to control the features. If it's up to you, if you want to have your border, you just put it here, border. Okay, let's try this out. Okay, this is an ugly form, but it's okay. At least we are making a correct way. And then let's have another options. That is the let's say a button. Let's say it's the login button. Login. If it is ugly, it looks ugly, but don't worry about it. We will make it better later on, and then we are going to learn bit by bit. So I think here it should be okay now, and then 200, and then I will just remove the border. Okay, I don't want to have the border. I feel, okay, much better now. It looks much better now. Very simple form, a login form. If you type it, and then a difference between the email. So we can have here another attribute require. It's gonna make a really amazing job. Require. That means whenever you have a form, make sure you have an opening form tag and closing form tag. Closing form tag should be below the closing table. Okay. So make sure here you just mention type submit, unless you have this features or this submit button. These inputs are not working. Okay, so let's try this out. So you see, please fill out. So it's already working like an advanced application. So you type something in here, but still, so still checking out, here I just require email. Oh, okay, sorry, because I better use the email type, so that it's gonna check whether it includes the email sign, right? If you don't put the email at symbol, it's gonna display the error message here. You see, please include and add in the email address. It's missing at symbol. Okay, if you put it, so it's still demanding you to write a correct email form. So let's try this out. It's already okay. That's a very fundamental things you have to study. So we have a solid foundation knowledge of the form, how it is working. So okay, require, or sometimes we put here disable. If you don't, if you want it disabled, just put it here, disable or require or read only. Let's try this disable. Okay, let's see the disable, how this works. Okay, you see, you cannot click inside. Okay, it's not working. It's already disabled the features. So how about read only? Read only means you cannot type in. You cannot type in here. You can type, but it's a type of password. Okay, so that's the attributes for the input fields. Okay, input fields, you can have a read only, require, and the disable. Okay, so make sure you starting with the form tag and close. You put the closing tag after the table, because table control the structures, like I said. So I think login form is okay. Now let's move on with the register form. Let's have another example, and then this is the registration form. Okay, HR, and then okay, HR, that means table, and then let's say first name, last name, TD2, let's say first name. This is a registration form to collect the user data, and then here just input the command full colon and the text. Okay, so we won't be using these features. I just erase them, and then copy first name, last name, and then gender, and then the education, what else, and then address, permanent address, and the gender. Okay, that should be okay now. Oh, that's first name and the last name, and then the gender, 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 Gender means females or males. Okay. Gender, that means you have to have your radio button, and then whenever you use a radio button type, you have to put here the value. That means male. We have to mention male or female. Let's say here the label. I just male or female, and then let's have another options, female options. Okay, female radio, that means female, because these value are supposed to, we are supposed to pass this male or female to, you know, another or destinations, because usually we collect the data from the user and pass them to the server or database. That's why, because now we just need to concern on our design on the front end. We don't need to, you know, process this data. That's why we won't be using this data. But you know, as far as the radios, we need to know how it works. That's why we have to put this value when we use the radio button. Okay, and then what else? Gender and let's say hobby options. We're going to be using a checkbox. Okay, checkbox means I just want to align them vertically. Here you say checkbox, that means here again value. Let's say playing guitar or reading, or okay, this is a reading and playing guitar, or swimming, and playing guitar, or playing game, computer game. Okay, so I just make it game and swim and reading. Okay, swim and playing game, just make it short, so I just make it right, swim, game, checkbox. So difference between the checkbox and the radio is, you know, the radio is one of the choices. You can only choose one. Here it's options. You can choose multiple choices. You can make multiple choices. Here only you can make one choice. Okay, that's the difference between, if your intention is to collect the male or female or other, that means you have to collect one. You have to get one option only. Here you can have multiple options. That means you have to have here, use the checkbox. Okay, checkbox type. So what else? We have to here the address, permanent address or address. Okay, that means here you can have text area, text areas, row and columns. Okay, we don't need these two options, name and ID. So 30, 10. Okay, so I think I forgot to mention the placeholder. Placeholder is an attribute for the highlight text. Okay, before you type anything, it's suggestion. Suggest your users, if they are not familiar with the kind of application, you just suggest them, or you just give them a hint. So that means here you just put here your name, type here your name, you just give them instructions. So it's a good way to communicate with your clients, with your users, by giving them a guide or suggestion. Okay, and the last name, and okay, that's it. And then address. Okay, address, we have address, and then what else? And okay, so I just want to have one more input type, that is a select options. select options means it's a drop down. It's a kind of a drop down features where you can have only one options. So that means favorite color. So what's your favorite color? If your favorite, select. Okay, inside a select tag we have options. So let's say red, green, blue, so on and so forth. Red, green, blue, and you can add more colors. I just put 3 colors here: red, green, blue, and pink. Okay, we won't be using this. The select options we don't use, but later on in JavaScript we're gonna be using these features and options. For the time being, we just erase them. Okay, we don't need to use them. So select, these are the drop down features. Select options, the basic. This is a very basic HTML or the skeletons of the web pages. So this is the complete set. I think it should be okay right now. Let's erase this, and I want to have here a button, reset button, and register button. Okay, so let's say a type reset. Reset means clear. Okay, reset, and one more button. So submit. Okay, should be a submit. Okay, let's try it out. Okay, I think it's pretty good. Now male, female. Oh, we make a mistake here. It should it's not the way it is. Okay, it should not be. We should not having both selected at the same time. You just make it correct. So radio, male, female. So that's why you have to have here the radio or agenta. Okay, so it's very important to provide a name options. Okay, so for the time being we don't need this value. I think we are not using it, so this is important. You need to provide these options. You have to provide these attributes so that it's gonna be working. Okay, now it's okay now. It's okay now. Okay, reading, this one is multiple choices. Here you can type. Okay, if you exit over 10 line, you're gonna be having here a scroll bar, so you can scroll up and down, and then here you have a drop down button here, and then submit. Submit is not working because, like I said before, whenever you have a table, or sorry, you have a form, you have to start with the form tag and end with the closing form tag. It's very, very careful. You have to be very careful. Okay, so form beginning tag, opening tag, and closing tag. Between this form opening and closing tag, you have to have these input types. There are several input types here: text, password, number, date, what else, the radio, checkbox, and you see here many types of button: reset, submit, and then okay, and then ordinary button. Okay, for the time being it should be okay with your HTML general knowledge. I think it's working now. Okay, it's perfect now. So I just submit. You see, it's okay. So I put something in here. If I click on the reset, it should clear all the inputs. Okay. Okay, that's it. If you have questions, just leave your comments below. I would love to answer all your questions. Okay, I think these are the fundamental or basics of HTML. So make sure you study you understand the functions of the table, you know how it works, table, list, and the form, because unless you have the knowledge or the foundations regarding this HTML tag, you're going to have a big problem when you learn the advanced features such as the CSS and JavaScript. Okay, so let's move on to our CSS exercises. Okay, so I think you are okay with my HTML exercises. Make sure you practice. Some students, they don't type and they just learn by heart without typing anything. That means you are learning nothing. So whenever you try to study a new thing, you just put them into your practice. Practice makes perfect. Okay, every day you have to practice. There's no other way to make progress in your web development skill. It's very essential. It's essential to practice every day. We have to familiar with these codes, with the text, how it works. Even though you know everything, sometimes you cannot figure out why the error occurs. It's very hard to be a IT professional. Some my colleagues and some teachers on the YouTube, they might say it's very easy to become an IT developer. I think it's not. If it is easy, though, they won't pay you very high salary. Okay, you have to be very logical. You have to have a very concrete logic. So that means we have to put a certain amount of effort to achieve something, to understand, to discern new things. Okay, with that being said, let's continue with our CSS exercises. Okay, CSS stands for cascading style sheets. Cascading means you compromise the repeated designs. So when we usually code for web applications, HTML take control of the structure. HTML is responsible for the structure, and if you want to make it more attractive and beautiful, we need to use the cascading style sheet, CSS. So in that case, cascading style, that means you have to look into a bit more features in order to understand the HTML codes and the CSS relationships. So that means it's more difficult, and we have to give more times to study these cascading style sheets. Okay, without further ado, let's dive into detail. So first of all, we have to talk about the box model. Okay, box model means the ID and classes, how we can make use, how we can arrange things, how we can position the structure or the layout we use in our applications. Okay, I just want to create a new folder called CSS folder, CSS. So cascading style sheet. So let's select folder and say goodbye to HTML. Now the first exercise on the box model. Okay, box model, MODEL, box model. Box model means you have to position our components, the layout components. Okay, according to the orientations of the clockwise, top, right, bottom, left. That's what we call the box model. Okay, let's have an example here. Oops, HTML. Okay, good. I'm going to create the dot main. Inside a main, I'm gonna be having a hash box, 2 boxes. Okay, so this is the HTML structures to, you know, to design these structures, make it more attractive, or we color and we shape things like that. You have to use the CSS code to control this structure. Okay, so that means when we use the CSS, there are 3 ways you can make use of CSS: inline CSS, internal CSS, and external CSS. But for the time being, I'm just using the internal CSS. Okay, so I just want to make it simple and understandable. I want to communicate with my students an effective way. That's why I'm using this internal style. Okay, so I have to control first the main. Here I just make it width, so let's say 300. Okay, 300 px, and the height 600 px, and then I just have a color blue. Okay, and then the box model means ID and classes. When you declare your structure or your divisions, your components using an ID, that means you have to use here the hash. Okay, hash box, the names of the component. Here I just the attributes of the width, let's say 280. Okay, height, it should be 280. Why 280? You know, 280 means I'm just, you know, to figure out the structure. I want you to see the structure or the control of this, you know, main. There is a main big, you know, square. Inside the big main structure, we have 2 boxes inside the main. That's, you know, that's what I mean. Here the box background should be a red. Okay, so in this case I want to have a margin, let's say top 5, and then 10, and then 5, and then 10. That means this is the box model. Top margin top. If you can, you know, you can write it another way. Here I just comment this out, and then margin top, sorry, margin top 5 px, and margin right and 10 px, and then margin bottom 5 px, and then margin is rotating like clockwise. Okay, clockwise, margin left. So this is the way how we can make use of the margin attributes. So if you don't want to use in a specific way, you can write this in one line. That means you have to mention first the top left, or sorry, top right, bottom left, just like a counter, sorry, clockwise. Okay, it's gonna be rotating like a clockwise. Okay, this is what we call the box model. Just like a box, they are boxes. Okay, so let's see the result, and then we'll make some adjustment to our boxes. Okay, here as you can see, the inside a blue box we have red boxes, but I want to make it a little bit lower inside blue box. Okay, so that means I want to use the padding tag here, padding top 10 px. Okay, padding top, that means I just want to move the contents inside the blue box. If you want to control the content, you have to have the padding. Okay, you have to have control on your padding. Okay, so this is a padding. I just make it the content lower, a bit lower, 10 pixel, and then if you want it more, just 20 pixel. Okay, so that means you have you just positions your inner boxes to the lower position. Okay, I think it's already okay. Let's have another example. Okay, copy. This time I'm gonna be having 4 boxes. Let's say copy and paste. Let's say this time I call it nav. Okay, navigation inside the nav divisions. I'm having 4 boxes. Here I just change the name, so nav. So this time I will change the dimension with 800 and 200 and background color, and the padding top I just remove these attributes, and the boxes this time 180. Okay, 180. I just allotted some pixels for the padding and margin. Okay, that's why I just make it 180. 20 pixels would be allotted for the remaining to to make it, how can I say, to make it understandable, to make it appear structure. Okay, I want to make it stand out. Okay, so that you would know how the structure works, how to control your structures. That's why I just leave 20 pixels for the margin and padding. Okay, that's the allotment, or that's the allocations you need for the margin and padding. So let's see. So we would see the distinct structures between the nav and the boxes. So that's the reason. Okay, let's try this out. Live server. Okay, here's a problem we have. Usually by default the the HTML start working top-down positions. In order to make them adjacent to each other, you see, to arrange them horizontally, we have to have one attribute. That's what we call a float left. Float left is CSS 2, but we're gonna be having a more advanced attributes such as flex boxes and the grid later on. But for the time being, you just need to know this float. Okay, and then I want to have a margin 5. Okay, that means 5 pixels means you just put 5 pixels each to top, right, bottom, and left. I don't want to write 4 times. I just make it 1 time. Okay, here margin, you see, it's adjacent. We just arrange them properly, adjacent to each other, and then I just but you might raise a questions like can we arrange to the right? Yes, of course you can arrange, or you can align to the right also, but usually I prefer the left, L-E-F-T. Make sure your spelling is correct. Okay, I think it is okay already. The margin 10, let's make it 10. Okay. Okay, I think it looks more beautiful. Okay. So let's have one more example. Example 3. That means this time we're gonna be having a bit more complex structure. Here, okay. Here I want to have a main. Inside a main, we have a nav. Okay. We have a nav bar and the content. Okay. Content. Inside a content structure, I want to have here I call it small box, small box, and then copy. Okay, and then inside a content I want to have a big box. Okay, 2 big boxes here. This is the structures. Regarding the HTML structures, this is very important to see your very basic structures. After that, you just put a control over your structures and make it more attractive and usable and controllable. Okay, let's have some control over our structure, and let's say here we have already, you see we already have the control over this structure. We don't have a control over this structure yet. Okay, let's see the result first and then make some adjustment. Okay, here, okay, it should be a small box. Okay, small box, SMALL, small box. And then let's see, now it's already okay, the upper part, but for the lower part we have to have control over the content. Let's say width 800 and height 400. Okay, and then let's put some color and pink. Okay, and then inside a content we have a big box, so let's have a 380. 2 pixels would be allotted for the padding and margin, and height is let's say 380. Okay, 380. Okay, and then 380 respectively, and then the background color should be olive or orange. Okay, any color you want, you can use it. And then here it's important to have a float property here. If you don't have a float property, then you're going to be having a top-down positions of the big boxes, so it's going to look awkward. So let's try this out. Now it seems to be okay, but I forgot to have here the margin 10. Let's try again. Let's see the result. I think it's very beautiful. Now finally we just use the main. Okay, main, and then let's have a background color of green. Okay, so we have a control over main without, oops, I think this is main, main, main class. Okay, something is wrong, so I should have here the width and height. Okay, width should be 820, right? 20, and height should be 630 or 620. It's up to you. You can make adjustment. I think it working right now, but left end we should put some padding. So padding top should be 10 and padding left should be a 10. So I think it looks okay right now. I think it explains all about the padding and the box model and margin. If you have a question, leave your comments below. I love to hear your questions, and I will reply your questions from time to time whenever I have time. Okay, so let's move on with the Z index. Okay, Z index means when we have 3D positions or top-down positions, we need to have the index, Z index. Z index means this is the 3D exits or Z index. Okay, I think the HTML5, the Z index is one of the important features or control over our advanced templates and layouts. That's why we need to know how this Z index works. So let's dive into a detail. Okay, so Z index, if you want to have a source code, you may make a request. I would love to share this code to you. It's for free. Okay, so that means example 1, and then I would create div class red. Okay, red, green, blue. We are having three divisions or three shapes: red, green, blue. 3 structures. Okay, we have to control this on top of each other. So in the 3D positions, so style, so inside this red comma dot green comma dot blue, so whenever you use a Z index, make sure you have to make your positions absolute. If you don't use the absolute positions, you won't have the structure on top of each other, because we make it sure to stick our shapes into one place, one positions. That's why we have to have this position absolute. Okay, and then make the same size, make them the same. Let's have the same size of the red, green, blue structures. Width, let's say 400, and height is a 400 pixel. And then let's say here, okay, red, this time I just positioned red top. You can write this way, or margin top, it's okay, margin top or top. I just make it top. Okay, top, that means 50 pixels, and then left 50 pixels. Okay, and then Z index, let's say 1, and then green, blue, because we're gonna have a difference positions, 100 to the top, margin top 100, and the margin left 100, and Z index would be 2. And then this is the green structure. Okay, sorry, I just move it down. This is blue. Okay, 150. Okay, that means 3. The larger the index number, it's gonna be on top, the most top level, or the topmost of the structure would be the largest number. If you want to put them under or inside, you have to make it smaller. You have to index number smaller. That means you have to put the structures inside. Okay, so if you want to appear on top of the structure, you have to make the index number larger. The larger number you have, the uppermost or the topmost structures it will become. Okay, so like so. Let's test this out. And then I forgot to have a background color. It's green or it's red, and then the background color it is a green, and then background color it is a blue. Okay, so okay, as you can see, this is the Z index, the effects of the. Let's try the reverse order, 1 and then the 2 and then the 3. That means now the red structure, red shape should be on topmost of the position on top. Okay, here the red become the topmost size or shapes. Underneath is green, and underneath you have the blue structures. Okay, this is how we implement the Z index or 3D positions. Okay, so it's very easy. I hope you understand, and then if you have a questions, and you may leave your questions below. I would love to answer all your questions whenever I have time. I'll make sure to answer all your questions as far as I know. Okay, here let's continue with the okay, drop down advanced features. Like I said, the CSS would be a bit challenge for the beginner, but make sure you practice while you're learning. But reading and practice should be go hand in hand. Some people, they don't practice they don't put their knowledge into practice. All the time they are reading, they can, they can talk about many things, but they cannot implement a very productive applications because they lack of experience, coding experience, what I mean. That's why they cannot produce the quality productions, qualify applications. But if you keep practicing and the familiarize with the codes, that means you have to go hand in hand. So competence, right? Competence means the knowledge plus experience. We have to read and we have to code. We have to practice so that we will be able to produce the productive applications. Okay. Okay. With that said, we continue with our examples. Okay. Here we go. Let's create a drop down. Okay, and then example 1 .html. Here let's have a structure first, and then here, like I said earlier, we are using this list, form and tables very often. And here let's say it's a home menu, and then let's say courses. Okay, courses, and the what else, services and center or branches. Okay, courses. Inside a courses, we're gonna be having here 2 more items or 3 courses. Let's say graphic design course, and then UI UX design, and then what else, React or Vue.js. Okay, React.js. Okay, and then branches, since okay, let's say we are having my center, computer training center in 2 largest city in Myanmar. So it's in Yangon and Rangoon, or Yangon and Mandalay. Okay. Okay, these are the branches or the centers. So let's see first the basic structures, because we don't apply yet the styling. So as you can see, this is a basic structure, HTML skeleton, or here boilerplate. Okay, this is only a boilerplate or a basic structures. With using the style, we have to remove original default values. Here you have UL padding 0 and margin 0. We clear out all the default values. List style none. Okay, list style none. Let's take a look at the result. No more, because this is, we know, we clear out all the default values of the HTML, and then we put some controls over the structure ULLI. That means as you can see, we keep track of the path or structure. ULLI, that means outer structure, and inner structures. ULLI, we are just controlling inner and outer structures at the same time. And then here you have let's say width, width 200 pixel, height let's say 30 pixel, and then background color. Okay, background color, let's say gray. Okay, here this is very important part. And relatives mean one by one, not like a Z index. We are not using absolute. Relative means one after another. Relative. Okay, and then we should use inline block. Okay, I explain this later. Block, inline block, so, and none. These are the value of the display attributes. Block, for the time being, I just use the block, inline block. Okay, okay, and then I show you the result. Display, and then what else? And then position should be relative, and okay, that's it. And then let's check this out. Okay, now as you can see, it's an inline block, means they just align according to the horizontal positions. If the first row fill up, and then it's this column will go down to the new line, that means just fill up the line by line. That's what we call inline block. But if you use the block value, you might see this is it is the overlapping the structures, that it doesn't look good. So that's why you have to use the inline block. So when we say none, that means we just make it disappear. No more. We just erase them. We just hide them. So that's why we have to use inline block. Okay, here. This is the structure we want to have, and then I want the text colored white and make it center. That means text align items, text align. Okay, sorry, text align center, and then I think it's already okay. I think it looks much better now. Okay, so let's put a little bit padding, 7 or 6, I don't know, it's up to you. Oh no, padding top, it should be padding top. Okay, not all size. I don't want to apply to all size, all all directions. I just want to put, okay, I think it's already okay. Okay, now let's have another control over inner, inner structure. That means LIUL. This is very important. If you miss the logic, then this is the missing link. If you cannot figure out the why this inner structure is important, inner control is important, if you cannot catch up with this, you can never have this drop down features. Okay, that means inner structure here, UL, LIUL, that's it. This is the control for the inner structure. So that means I want to display none. Initial state, as an initial state, I want to hide the substructure until I mouse over this structure. Okay, so now it's hiding the contents. Okay, we have a contents below the courses and then branches. Okay, if my mouse over these courses, the inner item should be appear. Okay, inner structure should appear. So let's say li hover ul and then display, it should be block. Block means display. Okay, now let's try this out. Okay, but it's coming out, but the problem is I don't want to pop up the menu, current positions. I just want it to have them down, right, below the React.js, below the courses. So that means we have to hold this structure. How to hold this, how to stick with this structure. So that means you have to stick or hold this structure, position absolute. That's very important. It's very, it's a key for you to have a drop down. Okay, you see? So that's it. That's what we want, right? I think let's have a bit more modifications on this. Let's work on this a bit more. So we can have here, okay, let's say hover ul. Let's say I want to have effect on this structure. So that means I want to have this anchor tag. Okay, anchor tag here, so that I can easily control over this. Okay, so React.js. Okay, so that means here we make some we make some changes here. So okay, so that means a text decoration none. Whenever you have anchor tags, by default you're gonna be having underline and have it color blue. I don't want the color blue, and I just want my color. Okay, that's why I just now text decoration means underline, right? Whenever there is a link or anchor, you by default you have underline here, but I clear up the underline, and then I want to have my custom color. I want to customize it. So now I get it back. This is what I want, right? So I think if I hover up hover up the link, so that means I want to have a background or some animations, background silver, okay, silver color, and then let's put some more attribute, display block. So this display blocks is a very unique way to control the structure. If you don't have a display block, that means you have to touch on the text. But if you have a display block, that means you don't need to, write on the text, but as you enter the area of this, it's already active. That's what it means here. So let's put some more controls. Okay, have and okay, height 30 and padding, let's say 7. Okay, let's try again. I think it's working now. Oops, here, because it's not working because I didn't put the link here, Anchor deck. Okay, I think it's working already. And then ULLI, okay, copy, okay, let's put it inside. Okay, I think it's already okay. That's the features. That's the kind of drop down we want to have. I think if you give more time to this exercise, it's gonna be more attractive and more interesting things happens. I guess it should be okay with our exercise drop down. Let's continue with another CSS features. That is the flex box. Okay, flex box is a very popular right now. Nowadays, everybody should know or should study this flex box in order to have a responsive mobile features. Everybody need to study. We need to know this flexbox grid and media query. So because most of the time we are dealing with the mobile features, responsive features, that's why we should have a knowledge of this foundation. Okay, in the modern web development, flexbox is a very game changer. This code is a game changer actually. Before, in olden days, in maybe 10 or 20 years ago, people create a website using a JavaScript in a very difficult way. But today, we are making a very responsive and advanced web layouts, mobile first technology. So using a flexbox, we can easily create a very advanced applications. That's why I think this is a crucial part for everyone. Let's have an example first. Okay, so let's create a flexbox. Okay, let's create a file, example1.html. So flexbox, let's create a navbar first. Okay, dot navbar. Inside a navbar we have logo. Okay, logo, just make it simple and so that you can easily understand what I'm trying to convey a message to you. Okay, here home, and then contact, sorry, it should be about, and then contact. Okay, contact. So this is the structure we want to control. We want to make it using flexbox. Okay, let's have a style, and then okay, I forgot here the class to control this component. Here, let's say dot logo, oh sorry, dot navbar, Okay, that means display flex and then flex direction row, and I show you the result or the effects of these codes. Okay, these attributes. Okay, and then justify content. We have space around, space between, and space evenly. In this case, we have space. We're gonna use this space between and the align items. It should be a center, and you. Okay. Let's just try this out. Let's try this out. Okay, and then here I'm gonna have a menu. Okay, it's a very simple structure. Here, as you can see, a logo and home, and this is a group of units or the one structure. And then here logo is also a single entity or structure. Here is also a structure. You can put them aside. Okay, put them afar. And then if you use center or start, let's say start or flex start, you can use either attributes or either value. As you see, start means at the start of the positions, they're gonna be positioned in the start area. Okay, and then end, that means it's gonna be positioned at the end of the structure, at end of the page. And then you can also have here the center. That means center, it's gonna be, you see here, we just get them together at the center. And then space between, space around, you see we have a spaces between them, and space evenly. I think space evenly and space around are almost the same, but there's only a bit different. Space evenly means that the spaces distributed equally between the items or the components here. And then in this case, I prefer to use the space between. Okay, I prefer to use the space between. I think it's gonna be good for this example. And then let's have control over menu. Let's try another. Okay, here row space between or space evenly, and then you can also have a gap between the items. And then here's a very important one, list style. Okay, list style. Unless you have these attributes, you gonna be having a dot black dot black circle. That's a problem. It's gonna be always there. So remove that list. We should use list style none, so that you won't be having this dot. Okay, black dot. So let's remove and see the result. As you can see here, the list icon, the default list icon, I don't want to have that, so that means list style none. And then I just want to move them inside, so that means I have to have here the padding control, padding left 50 pixels, in or indentation, padding right indentation control. So I think it's gonna be fine. It looks much better. That's pretty much of it. And then here I think it looks much better now, but let's have another structure below the dot content. Inside a content, we're gonna be having a text box, and inside a text box, let's say we have category. I want to have here h3 category, okay, shoes, and then H3, and then H1. That means Air Jordan. Let's say this is a product, shoe product, Jordan MX. This is the name of the product, and then I want to have a description, P, so short description, like so. Okay, and then here we have a button, or see detail, or more detail. Okay, so this is a button. Okay, so I put here the class control and detail btn. Okay, detail btn, and we're going to control this button. I make it more beautiful, and adjacent to the text box, we're going to be having an image box. Okay, div class img box. Okay, and then here we should have source. Okay, so in this case we should be having here the img folder, and then we are going to find shoe products pictures and put it inside the img folder. Okay, now I just give a name or picture part. Okay, shoe, as a shoe, I just allotted this, okay, name, and then later on I just find and save it into the img structure. So here, let's say class img pic. Okay, or img shoe img. Okay, so that's pretty much of it. Okay, so let's have a picture. Okay, I get this picture, shoe picture, copy, and then a CSS, and then flexbox. Inside a flexbox, there's the img folder. Inside the img folder, I just rename this into a shoe. Okay, so we have a shoe picture inside img folder. Now it's time to look at the result. Let's take a look. Okay, now I think we don't have a control over the content yet, so let's have a control. Okay, and then dot content, and then with let's say 100 pixel or 100%, and then delay flex. Flex, that means it's gonna become a responsive component, and then flex direction, row, and then justify content, space between, not around, between is much better, I think, and then align items should be a center, and then that's it, and then text box should be a width of 50%, and then display. Okay, flex, this time we're gonna be having flex direction column. Okay, because we have to arrange them top to down vertically, and the flex direction CO column, and then align item center. Okay, I think align item justify contents, it should be a start or flex starts. Either way you can write, you can control either value. It should be fine. Okay, and then text box, and then img box. Let's have control over img box. img box flex 50%, flex column, and start justify. I think it should be fine right now. Okay, and then I want, okay, I think it should be a start as well. Okay, and then we should have a padding here, so that's gonna padding 50. Okay, much better right now. I think this is okay now because we just need to control over the button. Let's have a control. Let's write a control over a button, detail, btn, and then width 250 pixel, height let's say 30 pixel, and let's say padding 10 pixel, 20 pixel. This is how to control X and Y axis. I think 10 is a X and this is a Y value, I guess. Okay, that means we need to have here also a flex value so that the contents gonna be aligned at the center. Oh, not yet, because the more GT should be okay. I just erase the padding, or let's say 20. Oh no, something is wrong. Okay, I just erased the padding. Okay, detail padding. Oh, start, it should be center. Okay, looks much better now. Looks much better. Padding, let's say 20. Is it? Okay, much better. So let's have a color, orange, and border radius. Border radius 20. It should be fine. Okay, let's remove the border. So border 0. That means border size of the border will be gone. So let's have some animation. That means I just have to copy this up, copy and paste, and then here you just put the hover, and then I just need to change, let's say, okay, more light yellow, light orange. Okay, that means it's gonna be, see. And then I want to have here color attributes, its point. And so let's okay, this time. Okay, I think it is perfect. It's perfect now. Okay, I think this is it. Category issues error. I think it looks much better now. Okay, Flexbox. So I want to show you a very basics. Okay, basics flex basics.html, Flexbox basics. That means we just have a structure and try to experience the effects. Okay, try to see the results. Okay, dot content. Okay, inside a content we are having boxes, let's say 4 boxes, and then here style, okay, dot content, here display, flex, and then here flex direction, oops, sorry, flex direction row. Let's have a result on the row, flex direction row, and justify content, start. Okay, start and align item center. Okay, and then dot content, if inside here we just we just have display flex and flex direction as a row. Oh, sorry. Okay, it should be row, and then justify content center, and then here align item center. I think in this case we don't need this right now. Okay, we don't need this, and then I just try with the 100%. Okay, and then background color red. Okay, and then I want to have here margin 20px. Okay, or if you don't want here a margin, we can have here a gap. Okay, here a gap 20 pixel. Let's see the result. Okay, here this is a basic flex box, and then we see nothing, something is wrong. Content class boxes. Okay, content TENT. Okay, content flex. Okay, maybe I forgot with 100%. Okay, let's see, is it working? Background color blue. Oh, nothing. Content. Okay, class content. Flex direction. Okay, height is 100 pixel. Let's see. Okay, it's working right now. Okay, and then 200 pixel, and then content space div. We are trying to control the inner structure, or the you can erase div and dot box. We can also have that way. And display, and let's say height 100 or 80 pixel. Okay. Okay, this is it. Padding or gap, we don't have here a padding 80 or 20. I think 180. It should be 180. Okay, should be 180. Okay, now we have very responsive features, responsive structure, because it's written in Flexbox. So, and then I just put some more structure, copy and paste. Inside the content we have 8 boxes. Now you can have any number of boxes. It's gonna be justify automatically, adjusted. It's gonna be automatically, they are automatically adjusted according to the Flexbox property here. So if you use here flex rub, okay, flex rub, flex rub, that means you just mention here, or your measurement here, you see, I change this dimension, let's say 300 pixel, not fully expanded, I just want 300, and okay, here instead of 200 I just have VH, virtual height. Okay, and then let's take a look at it now. Because I used here the flex rub, because if this dimension, the size of the boxes fill up the row, it's automatically distribute to the another row, or below, below the structure, below the rows. You see, as you can see, now I just expand, you see, 400. That means if this box size distribute fully the row, it means it's gonna expand to another row. That's what it means, rub. Okay, it's very useful and powerful if you know how to make use of it. Okay, now let's have a column. Okay, we want to fill up, change the orientation. That's column, make it column. That means top down. Particularly we're gonna be having a top down here. I just remove, because I want to arrange the contents top down. That's what it means. So that means I arrange my contents top down positions. That's columns. If I change it to the row, it's gonna arrange the contents in a congested manner. You see, it's a congested, just put them together in a very congested structure. Okay, here. Okay, I think this is the basic structure, basics control of the Flexbox. And if you have questions or suggestion, you may leave your comments, and I would love to reply all your questions. And let's continue with our next lessons, next exercises on the grid. Okay, grid is also one of the important things we need to learn regarding CSS. Okay, let's create a file called example1.html. And okay, boilerplate. This is a boilerplate or template or a skeleton. Let's have a grid structure, and then let's create content. Okay, content. Inside a content, we're gonna be having boxes, 9 boxes, and then let's have a control over them, a style, and then dot content. Here we just have here the width, let's say 100%, height 80 VH, and then let's content, and then let's have structure. Okay, grid structure. So this is a template or grid template areas, or grid templates columns. Okay, so I want to have a rows, and then here auto. So that means in a row I want to have a 3 column each. Here we can also have a gap 20 pixels between the boxes, and then we have a control over dot boxes, or just put it this way, box here 200 pixel height, let's say 200 pixels, and background color red. And then I think it should be working right now. Okay, let's see how it works. Okay, oh my god, red. So they just top down structure, position in top down structure, template rows. So gap is not working. Okay, gap is not working. Let's here margin 10 pixel. Let's try again. Oops, sorry. Okay, I think this is correct. And how about columns? Okay, see, columns, templates, columns. Oh, same, nothing's happened. Okay, let's just have a very simple, structure. Display grid grid. You see, this is a very basic structure, grid. And then this is a box control over here, and then let's see what happened. Nothing's happened. Display grid, and then templates, it's areas, auto, and then auto. Let's have first, okay, and then gap 20 px. Now we have a grid attributes, and here template. So we want to have areas, you see. Oh, nothing. Okay, let's erase this. Oh my god. Okay, it's nothing's changed. Nothing's changed. Okay, let's have control over. Let's see the column. Let's okay. That means template, grid template columns, auto. The columns are going to distribute it equally across the row, across across the browser. And then as you can see, I just put the column equally, but some references, you just take a look, you just search, you just do your research on the W3 schools or other documentation pages. You see 1FR, 1FR, 1FR. That means the same thing, the same as before, auto, and auto. Okay, this is a frame. So I just put a column here, 4 items per line, 4 items per row. So that's the same thing, 1FR. But some documentation, some coding, I saw this kind of coding. Okay, 30% each. It's gonna be fine, working fine. It's just wanted 2 columns. That's okay. 30% or 50% each. You can use the percent also and frame also. You see, 50% or 1FR, 1FR. That means you want 2 columns only. Okay, but I prefer the auto. Okay, I prefer auto. Auto, how many columns you want per row? That means you have to define your columns here. Okay. So this is it. This is how the grid structure works. Gap between the structures you can have here 30, 50, or 60. Yes, you see, as you can see, you can play around with the values, but by changing the 50, 20, 100, so on and so forth. Okay, this is the boxes, the dimension of the box. It's up to you. You can assign the value as a 500 or 100%. You just play around with the values. You're gonna have insights and the detail, you know how it works. Okay, I think we're gonna have another example how to distribute the areas across the grid system. And let's say example2.html. Okay, and then let's have a structure first. Content. Inside a content, we are having, or let's say I would say main. Inside a main structure, we should have here class, header, and let's say header, and also a menu, and also here the menu. After menu, we should have content, and then the footer. Okay, footer here, menu, content, and last footer. Okay, so let's have a control over here dot main. Okay, here we have a display grid, and then template. Okay, template areas, grid template areas. That means we have to define first the areas, header, and then header. Inside a header, we should have here the area names, right? Area, Okay, grid area, you can name it whatever you want. You can have any name you want. And then dot menu, the grid area. So here just name it menu. And then what else? It's a content or grid area. Here you can have any name you want. Content. Okay, I just make it easier. Okay, just make it simple. And footer and grid area, and then here footer. Okay, so template area, we just arrange the grid area inside this area, but don't forget to put here the single quotation mark. And here, okay, you don't need here the end of the statement. We don't need the semicolon and semicolon, header, because I want 6 columns. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One more. Okay, and then next line we arrange how you lay them, how you want to structure, how you want to have the output. That means here menu, content, 1, 2 columns already, content, 3, content. Okay, these are the area. Okay, lastly, let's say okay, just put it this way, and footer, one more. Okay, that's it. And then let's try this. Let's try out the menu. I want to have one more attribute. Height should be 400 pixels or 300. Let's see the result first. Okay, now we don't have here the color, so that means we should have here the color. Okay, I need one more control. Dot main space div, that means display, background color. Let's say gray. Okay, I think it's already okay. And margin 10. Okay, I think it's working right now. And we can also have a padding here, 20px, 40px, and color white, and then text align, enter. That means we are taking control of these individual structures: header, menu, content, and footer. Okay, so as you can see, we just making a very beautiful structure using a grid layout system. Okay, I think that's pretty much of it. If you have a question or any suggestion, you may leave your comments below. Okay, let's continue with last topics. I think this modern CSS, this is the very important part to make our application responsive and advanced. That means media query. You can write your customized codes in order to make your application web page responsive. This is a crucial part. You have to sit back, relax, and take your time and practice. Okay, let's get started. Okay, now let's create a folder first, and this is media query. Okay, this is the example1.html. So I just get this previous exercise, so make it short. So we spent some times with these exercises while ago, and then we just put some more controls, media query controls on the CSS coding. Okay, and then here, in this desktop version, it's already, but we still need to, you see the fix. We have to fix this first, and then let's copy and paste it in here. Paste it in here. Okay, should be working right now. And then if you make it smaller, mobile features, here it's not responsive. Okay, we have to make it responsive. That means we need a media query code here. So media query start with the add and media, 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 and then here max width, width. Let's say you can have any size you want. Some people might have a 780 or 900, so on and so forth. I prefer. I'm just going with the 600 pixel. Okay, so now if I shrink this screen, I have to dismiss or I have to hide these items, menus. That means here I want to replace this item with the hamburger icon. Okay, hamburger icon. That means we have to modify some codes here. So beforehand, I should have here alternative menu. If we hide the menu items, we have to show the hamburger icon. Initially, we have to hide the hamburger icon when our application's mode is on the desktop application. As soon as we shrink our screen into a mobile size, it's gonna disappear. Menu is going to be disappear, and we have to show our hidden icon, which is hamburger. Okay, so that means here I want to have, okay, here let's have the icon. Okay, let's have the code first. Maybe go to the Google first. Maybe you might use material icon or ION icons or anything you want. Let's go with the ION icon first. Okay, it's very easy, and you're gonna be having a lot of fun. We're just playing around with this icon. Okay, usage. Here many icons, and they are okay. Here we have to get the library. Here just copy the library first, and below your page, before the body tag, you have to paste them. Now you are ready to use the icon, any icon you want, but I want to have the burger icon. Here you just type the hamburger, no burger here. Okay, how to call it? Is it bars? Okay, oh, it's no more. Let's say menu. Oh, there is. You can have this one or this one. It's okay, any icon will do. So I just accept all the cookies, and I want to have this code here. Just click it and already copy, and let's have it on the structure. Let's say deep class, here bars. I just make it simple and short. Here we have our icon. This is the code for the ION icons, and let's take a look at the result. Oops, sorry, this is not the one. Here as you can see we have there, and I just apply the inner style. Font size is let's say it's a 20 or something. Is it font or okay, 30. Say make it bigger. Okay, bigger, larger now. Okay, initially we have to control this let's say icons, and we have to make it hidden. Let's say oh, we don't need, we have a control over the bars. Okay, initially we just put here bars, so display here none, here none, so no more. Initially we don't see the bar. If we make it smaller, the screen, make the screen smaller. Let's inside the media query code, let's say the bars, let's say display block. That's how we make it available. Okay, and then we have to hide the menu and display none. That means we are going to toggle the menu items. Okay, here it's already okay. If we make it smaller, it's already hamburger icon, you see. And then now we are going to focus on we are going to work on the contents. And inside the screen, let's go to the media screen and content. See, I just want to have here display or flex direction. It's a column. So as soon as our screens become a phone screen, we have to change the flex direction, which is the column. Okay, the orientations, you see, it's very easy now, you see. And then we make some adjustment on the padding. So previously we set the padding to 50, now 20 maybe, or let's see, oh no, padding should be 0 or something. Okay, 0 just make no sense. Okay, that means how about the minus value? Oh, nothing. Okay, here because I want to make it a little bit larger or move it to the left side. Okay, and then let's see the content. Where's the content? Here, flex. Okay, we don't put anything, text box. Okay, that means we have to make adjustment on the text box. Okay, not on the content. Text box is the one controlling the text paragraph. Okay, that means the width should now 100%. Previously we assign it 50%. Okay, now we make it increase to 100%, and let's say padding to 20 pixel. Okay, now it should be working. Oh, too much. Okay, that means we don't need 50. Okay. Oh, nothing's changed. Okay. Flex direction, and okay, just make it 80%. Okay, 100 is too much. Okay, exactly, this is what I'm talking about. And then img context dot img box. Let's make the same thing, copy and paste. It should align with the previous. Okay, I think we have to move a bit, 20 or something. Okay, because of the alignment, I think justify content start, let's say. Okay, image box start. Oh, nothing. That means align items start, because I want it. Okay, that's the orientations. This is the layout I want to have. You see, it looks much better now. Okay, this is what we call a responsive. Or you just go to this more tool sections, and here you will see developer tools, and then you can see here the mobile options. Here, this is a toggle key. You can have mobile features here, and the responsive phone. You see, it's much better now. This is it. I think that's pretty much of it, and this is the last example, last exercise for this crash course. I hope you enjoy my tutorials. If you find it valuable and useful, I presume you can share this video with your loved ones and friends for free, and then see you in the next videos. Okay, I think and thanks for your time. Okay, see you. Okay.